the big petty car, and except for the wiring, which I am going to do that absolutely last, and I may do it once I get the motor painted and inside the vehicle. That way I can just pop in the hoses as we go. I don't think I'm going to put the hoses on and then put the motor in. I think it'd be easier to get it mounted and just that way I can be able to hide the hoses and everything. Should be much more simplified. But anyway, I am down to basically adding this one more part here and on the side here, and then we're basically done with the motor. And I have to say, the motor itself is almost a kit of itself. I mean, that was almost that was yesterday, and today finishing up the motor, putting the exhaust pipes on and everything. Hopefully they're somewhat straight. If not, we can always tack them back out and put them on. So anyway, they go. And I was going to sub-assembly a little bit more, but I'm going to have to hold off. But what I want to do is get the motor in the engine itself, see where the exhaust line up on the bottom here, so I can put the exhaust pipe on there and get that on, and I'll be basically done with that except for the little braces. And then I'll probably do the main body next weekend that it keeps mentioning to do. And I may have to skip a couple steps because I want to get most of it assembled, and then where I can basically start painting within a couple of weeks. So not too bad. The motor's done. Thought it was going to be a big chore, but we haven't done the wiring yet, so who knows how that'll end up. And plus I need to probably look at some pictures and all that good stuff. Anyway, that is where I stand on the Mr. Petty car. So hopefully a little more and we can at least get paint on it, or at least in primer or some of it. But anyway, we'll eventually get there. There's probably going to be one weekend where I won't get to touch it at all, and that'll be April 8th, and we'll explain that once we get closer to that date. The ambulance. So I went ahead and basically started sub-assembly everything. Didn't have to do the chassis. I already showed you all that, but I did do the interior. Got the bench seat, steering wheel, dash, the two seats that go right there. Probably need to adjust it just a tad. The only thing I haven't put in is the bed, which is supposed to be like a little gurney. I think I'm going to cheat just a little bit on it. You're supposed to get some little rail contraption here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some styrene. I want to cut out for the bed frame. And you do get, if I can find it, you do get little casters to roll the bed around. So I'm just going to glue those onto the bottom, and I think it'll look much more nicer. You're not going to see a whole lot, and then I'll glue like the bed rest arms on it, and you'll be good to go. That way it'll just be a little more sturdier, because that's a lot of parts for something that's not going to be seen, and I just think it's I think it'd be more of a glue job than something that looks pretty darn decent. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do on the bed interior. But on the body, I did get the back door on, which does work. If I had a third arm, I could show you. I got the glass on. I'm going to have to go ahead and mask that off. And I got the inside frame here. Didn't get the glass. I'm going to wait till I get it painted. Got the firewall, and got the radiator, the battery, and fluid box on there, and I got the hood on. So we are making some progress. I'm pretty done assembly wise. I think I'm gonna probably start painting this week, and I'm basically going to go all black interior, and then we'll do some dry brushing. I'll show everyone that, and that's my game plan. But we're hoping to at least get something done. Then I got to paint the body red and the top white, and I don't know if I have enough white, and I was gonna do it enamel, because I probably got some spray somewhere, but I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to probably do it in a acrylic. I think it'll look better, and I'll just shoot it with Future here to get the shine, and we'll be good to go on that. But anyway, I'm all out of, there it went, I'm all out of Model Air, and I don't know if I have enough white to do it. So, you know, to the trip to the hobby store is what we will have to do. So that is where I stand on the ambulance. The doggy, I am absolutely done with the dog, except for I am painting the base here, which I wiped it down. I don't know what was on it, but it wanted to bubble the paint up, especially just acrylic paint. It just wouldn't really stick, so I got to go one more time with the airbrush and to get it covered, and then I'll pick out the name and dry brush, and I'll be done with that, and then we'll do some pretty pics. But I did 5-minute epoxy. I had to, because the wherever I had it, microcrystal clear, it held it, but it started to wanted to pop out of the glue joints. So 5-minute epoxy, this thing's pretty solid now. There's going to be one gap, and that's going to be right through here. It's actually warped, and I can't get it to close tightly. If I actually tried to, like, I want to say heat it up and try to get it, I'm afraid I'd break it, and if I forced it, I'd break it. So I just took the high road and glued it in place, and that's the only place that's the gap. Not really noticeable, especially when you got it, you know, upright position, but he is sturdy. And that's the only thing bad about a clear kit, you know, you do see the big seam, but it just cannot be helped. But anyway, it's a unique model. I understand why a lot of people never would put one together. I personally wouldn't do it for you know, intimidation. However, I would I'd want to throw in some like science fiction. You know, I'd want to you could paint the whole thing a solid color and paint the dog, or you know, you can make some alien creature out of it. You know, that's something I would kept thinking of. That's going to cross my mind several times when I built the dog. But anyway, we're going to do one more video, hopefully, once I get the base nameplate painted, and then I'll put him on the base, which I think you get a base somewhere in here, I think. Yep, right there. And I'll be able to put that on the base, and we'll show everyone the pretty pics, and we'll be pretty much done with the dog, and then we'll get to send it off to its final home, hopefully by the end of the week. But anyway, that is where I stand on Mr. Doggy. The Ertl A. So I went ahead and finished all the decals except for the bridge one, which I had to go back in and paint the little band there, and I used MIG pale gray. I think it's real close, and I want to use that because there's some that's supposed to go on the tips of the nacelles here, and then of course I got to paint it the black spots. But anyway, I went ahead and finished all the decals off, and JT Graphics, they go on very little solution, love them. I got the important decals on for the Ertl A. Got the bottom. And then of course on the saucer here, it says Enterprise. And then I went ahead and I ripped off the blue, whatever it's called, drafting tape. And I went ahead and I tried some black ones on here. I'm kind of digging the black. Of course, I'll probably have to, I think what I'm going to do is end up painting a little bit of pale gray just on a brush and just go all the way around it. And just see how well that works. But anyway, we'll make it look good. Anyway, black ain't too bad on there either. Of course, you know, they are crooked, you know, just getting it on there. But anyway, that's a quick fix if you ever need you know, quick sensor bands. Anyway, it's not too bad. Gives it a little bit of something, you know, instead of just, you know, the really fine, you know, decals that you put on it. I mean, you know, it's one of those things on a Star Trek ship that just, you know, don't really get you like the Aztec or the, you know, design of it. But anyway, I got to do a little more decal work here, and then I'm pretty much be done to painting, and then I got to do a little bit of touch up in a few places, and then saturate it with more micro clear micro sol, because I got a few spots I need to take a knife and trim and just get everything laid down beautifully, and then probably shoot a little bit of future just way out here just to mist it, give it a little bit of sheen. It won't be completely dull coat, but give it a little shine to it, and be ready to rock and roll. So that's what I have got going on today. I may have a shed update. It's nice, pretty weather, so we may do that as well. But anyway, we are continuing on with the Ertl A. Sub-assembly continues on the Amulet. Just about to finish up Mr. Doggy, and the big petty car continues on. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.